Hi everyone, Chasao here with the early access review video of the two new units in Japan's army. In this video, we'll see them in action, what are they good for, and tips for using them effectively. At the end of the video, I'll talk about some deck building issues for Japan with the addition of these two new units. Alright, let's get started. First off, HMG-92. So this unit is an equivalent to MGs from the other nations. It takes on the role of a infantry that deals good damage versus single target infantries. And thing to know is that it moves slow, just like all the other MGs, and you can think of it as a unit that is closer to USSR's Maxim than the MGs from other nations. So to maximize its effectiveness and to get most value out of it, I think pairing it up with a HOHA and an engineer would be a good way to use it. So the HOHA can provide speed, and deploying all the MGs that it is carrying where infantries are gathered will be one way to clear infantries and to move fast. And an engineer would be useful to repair the HOHAs while the HOHA can heal the infantries. So while this unit is a much needed addition of infantry option for Japan, but I'll talk more about it later on. I feel that there is an issue that arises because of this new addition, and we'll talk about it later. But next, let's have a look at NATO. So NATO deals very good damage against tanks. It has okay accuracy versus infantry, and thing to note that it only attacks when there is a clear line of sight, and it has medium range, so similar to Japanese Honi and the USSR's ISU 122, and also USA's Hellcat. One way to use them effectively is that we can reverse and fire at the same time. So this is useful when your frontline tank is gone and you want to give it a bit more value before it dies. So I think, as mentioned earlier, to get most value out of NATO, you will need to have frontline tanks, and given what Japan have now, I think Chiri or Tora are good options. Alright, now let's talk a bit about building decks for Japan. So while the two units added are much needed for Japan, one being an anti-infantry unit, and the other being a tier 3 tank destroyer. However, given what units are available in Japan, you can see these are 3 suggested decks that I built for your consideration. But I feel like the issue is that the HMG-92 and HOHA kinds of play a similar role, in a sense that they are both anti-infantry units, and if we include both of them, it takes up slots, whereas you can consider one of the decks where I included Heigo, so that in tier 1 there is a answer to early armored or tanks. Then the other issue I feel is that Honi and NATO kind of plays the same role, but then they are both in different tiers. So NATO being the stronger, having better damage, but is in tier 3. So you kind of have to decide what kind of strategy that you want to go with, and I would prefer the deck without Heigo, but then still, you have to choose between what frontline tank are you going to use, and whether do you want to go in tier 2 without a range tank destroyer. So I feel that Hato is still a necessary unit for all decks currently. It is the only range and effective infantry, anti-infantry blob unit. So I feel that Chiri and Hato are both kind of essential, and yeah, you kind of have to work your way around what kind of strategy that you would prefer to use. So yeah, I feel this is the issue that when you're building a deck that you have to consider. I personally feel that both NATO and HMG are good units to have in the Japanese army, but then yeah, how are you going to build your deck is something that you need to consider. Alright, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the battlefield.